We Got This Africa is an April Communications production with support from Kaiser. Proudly brought to you by Fritol. Fritol, you deserve a life of goodness.
Girl, listen. We got this.
Sex. That can be a very touchy subject in a seemingly conservative society such as ours. Now, I'm 33 years old, I have a husband and children, but I still feel a little some way when I have to talk about sex openly. If you're like me and you have only recently found the courage, if at all, to talk about sex, then this show is for you. Today, I'm going to be talking to two amazing ladies who have no problem talking about sex because, hey, after all, everyone's having it, maybe. And the role of sex in romantic relationships. This is We Got This Africa. You're welcome. My name is Ashorkor, and let's talk about sex, baby.
We got this.
When I open Fritol sunflower, nature comes to life. When I cook with Fritol sunflower, family comes to life. Nature gives to you in every drop, goodness in every bite. Nature gives to you in every drop, goodness in every bite.
Give to you in every drawer.
Feels great to have a hearty, healthy family. Fritol sunflower cooking oil. Also cholesterol free for tasty, healthy meals. Love your food, love your life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
We got this.
I should tell you that this episode is very uncomfortable for me because this is probably the very first time I'm going to be having conversations on sex on television. I'm a Church of Pentecost girl. I don't do that. But hey, I'm happy to have it with you, Akosia and Margaret. Hi, ladies. How are you doing?
Good.
You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Awesome. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Are you as anxious as I am? No, not really. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
How do you feel about conversations about sex in public?
So sex is like food, right?
Okay.
We eat.
Yeah.
We blog about food, we talk about it, we take pictures of our watching and post on social media.
Yes,
Why can't we talk about sex as well?
But we shouldn't take pictures of it.
Oh, well.
Okay.
And I think that if we had spoken more about sex, a lot of marriages maybe may not have ended
Okay.
the way they did.
Why do you
And
say so?
I use myself as an example here. I married young. I come
How
from a
old?
background, 24.
Okay.
Fresh from training college. I didn't know anything. All I knew about marriage was what I had seen between my mom and my dad,
Yeah.
and what I'd watched on TV.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get to know my husband as in
Sexually.
dating,
Okay.
having sex. No. He was a military person. He was on peacekeeping. He knew my brother. Said, okay, I want to marry you. Said, go see my parents. He went. He didn't go alone. He's gone. He didn't go alone. He went with everybody in his family with yams and fish. I was there when they told me the man I had sent to come and marry me has come. So we didn't date.
Oh.
And here's my issue. When we went through counseling for, I think, 2 days, because of where we both were, there was no talk about sex. There was nothing about what sex does for you in your marriage, what that sex does for you as a human being, as a woman, how to even pleasure your husband. There was nothing like that. It was the church. I had to cook for my husband, I had to clean, I had to do all the other wifely duties. Nothing about sex. Maybe if I knew how important sex was, especially from somebody who had been raped before. If maybe I had been conditioned.
Sorry about that.
Oh.
Was that a
But
long
nothing-
time ago?
Yes. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's fine. Thank you. So I think as a society, we should talk more and more and more about sex. Our children are learning so much from the internet these days because we are not opening up about sex. I told my son, he's 17, that I'll buy you a condom. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. If my mom had maybe told me something just minute about sex, implications of sex, this and that about sex, maybe I wouldn't have been where I am today. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Does it make you sad?
I think sometimes it does. You know, I went into a marriage very, very naive, with so much on my mind that I had not dealt with. So anytime my husband touches me, it feels like I've been raped over and over and over. So at a point, I became a bit suicidal. My dad still has the letter I wrote to him, telling him to go and dissolve the marriage before I kill myself or run away with my son. It was so difficult because I think because I was going through that emotional trauma that I had not been able to deal with. There are no sex therapists. There are no psychologists. There's nobody to talk to you when you go through trauma. So when you get married and you have these unresolved issues, it plays out so badly on your marriage. And we are still sitting in church not telling the young women what these things does to their marriages. People are getting married, not having enough sex, always frowning their faces when you see them. Come to church and they don't even listen to what the pastor is saying because they haven't had enough good sex in their marriages. We really need to talk about it.
Yes, we do. And I'm hoping we'll do that today. Or we start doing that today and not stop. Margaret.
Hi.
You're a little bit nervous about our conversation today. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, when you said you're going to talk about personal, we shouldn't generalize it. So in my mind, I'm asking myself, did I tell my husband that I'm going to share our secret to everybody? Yeah, so basically that's why I was a bit nervous, but I'm okay.
Okay, did you call him?
Well, he knows I'm coming, but he doesn't know I'm here.
Okay, so we'll tell him after.
Yes, I'll tell him after. You can tell him. You know him.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I'll send him a hi.
Sure.
And I'll tell him everything you tell us. Okay, so tell me, how do you feel about the subject sex generally?
So generally, I am so open-minded when it comes to issues of sex.
How did you become so open-minded about sex?
I had read so much. Growing up, I've read so much about so many literature. So I wanted to know what this whole thing is about. And I feel that there is so much information out there that is held from us. And so I was in a quest to discover what this whole thing is about. By myself.
Did you make any discoveries?
I did when I got married.
Okay.
When I was in a relationship with my husband, we are all medical people. So when we're going to get married, it looks like, okay, so the church, like you're saying, our church. Yeah, so we go for counseling and it gets to the point of sex and they shy away from talking about it.
They didn't tell you anything?
They didn't tell us anything. But now things have changed.
Okay.
Church of Pentecost is doing marvelously well now. Yeah, so I had read so much. I had so much in me to give, but I just wanted to get married. As when we got married, my husband was a bit surprised because he's seeing my background as a Church of Pentecost person, was not expecting that kind of show, let me say.
What did he tell you exactly?
He was like, how did you get to know this? Who taught you this?
Okay.
And so he thought maybe you've been experimenting or you've been doing it.
Had you been experimenting?
No, I haven't.
You had just been reading?
I had just been reading.
Okay.
So my creative mind was always imagining new things. So as we sit here, I can just imagine things. I have a lot of fantasies. So I just want to create. I am just dramatic, so I'm just dramatic.
May I say you don't look like a very dramatic person?
But that is it. It's my whole demeanor. It will just bamboozle you.
Okay.
Because people see you and they have a particular, perception about you because of based on what they have seen, but then deep down within you, you know the kind of depths you have, but we don't really share it. Even in church, I'm part of a committee that, talk about my main topic is sex and love.
Do you go to the Church of Pentecost?
Yeah.
And you have a committee that talks about sex and love?
That's right.
Which Church of Pentecost do you go? The same one?
That's one PIWC.
PIWC, right.
Yeah,
okay, PIWC, right.
So we have a marriage school, actually.
Okay.
And the marriage school talks about sex.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to the Church of Pentecost because, okay, well, that's very interesting to know.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, and I think like most people would agree, the very conservative churches don't talk about sex too much, and it's just a topic we shy away from and let people figure it out by themselves. But I'm glad that has changed.
It has changed.
So shouts to your church. So if you're looking for a new church to go to, PIWC, Dansoman.
That's right.
We'll be on our way.
Yeah.
So do you find that the things you read about sex are the same as practicing it? Is it, let me tell you why I'm asking you this question. A lot of young people are curious, okay? And then a lot of us are reading all sorts of things. But reading about it versus doing it, is it the same for you?
Read about it, get to know the in and out of it, then you practice it.
Okay.
Because once you have the theoretical knowledge, you should be able to apply.
So what exactly do you read? Do you watch pornography?
Not a thing, but once in a while, you just want to look at the new trends, whether there's something different you can add to spice up your love life.
New trends.
Yeah.
There are trends?
Oh, yeah.
Trends?
They're different.
I see.
Because, so recently I chanced upon edible pants.
Edible pants?
Yes. So
Okay.
it's one of the, it's a type of pants you can actually...
Like your underwear?
Underwear.
Okay.
And the way the whole makeup of the pant is so sexy and it spice up.
Eat it?
Yes, they said it's edible. So once it's edible, you can eat it.
Huh. Interesting. You know about those?
I haven't had edible pants yet, but I know there are games that actually really can spice your sex life. I know there's this type that's like a Ludo that
Like
you can do with your husband.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you roll the dice and it says lick, if you rolled it, it means you have to give your husband a good blowjob. If he rolled it, it means he has to, do the do for you.
Okay.
So there are
It's
those
like a board
things.
game.
Yes.
I
those
see.
things too. Yeah.
Now, do you feel that, and let me ask you this, Akosia, I didn't want to ask this before, but I just have to. Do you think that because of the experience that you had, first of all, did you get any help when you were sexually abused?
No.
You didn't get any help?
No. Help is going to see a psychologist speaking to you about your trauma. No.
Did you talk to your mother?
Yes.
What did she do?
Oh, she said, well, you shouldn't have gone to that school, and you did. Yeah.
And that was the last of it?
That was it, yeah.
What did you take from there?
Nothing. I was young, I thought.
How old
when
were you?
I was 17, 18. And it happened, the person was a very close family member.
Older?
Older, yes. So I thought I would grow out of it, because at that time the opportunities were not there like it is today to read. There was nothing like internet where you could actually go online and read about sexual traumas, rape, and other things. So we just grew out of it. It was until I got married that I realized that there were unresolved issues when it comes to sex. So sex for me was very painful. Very, very painful also because there was lack of understanding between me and my ex-husband. Lack of understanding as in we never spoke about sex. It was a thing you had to do. It was your duty. You are the wife. I mean, we have to have sex. There was no intimacy, there was no pleasure, there was nothing to really look forward to. We had to do it. So anytime we had sex, I felt really, really bad. I could go to the washroom and bath just to clean something. I wanted to clean something, but that was my husband.
Did he know this?
Yes. He didn't know about the rape, but he knew that sex with him was not making me, usually you would have sex and feel happy. He knew that I wasn't happy. But we had other underlying issues too with the whole, how we met and how the marriage was, and me being a child, I didn't really understand what love was. I had watched so much TV. I thought what I saw on TV was what really goes on in marriages. So, yeah.
You never told your husband about the thing that happened. No. Did you have sex with anyone else before your husband?
No.
So it was just...
So from secondary school on to training college and then to marriage.
So you didn't have any other boyfriends?
So I always tell myself that I never really explored the way maybe I should have. I never really explored.
What would you have done differently now?
Maybe date more often, get to understand the person I'm even allowing to touch me. So the relationship that I got into after my divorce, the person was a sex therapist.
Oh.
A Thai massage person.
Okay.
So he now made me understand how vital sex is for a woman. He actually made me understand that sex was not just something you do. It's like a church. When you're going to church, you know how you prep yourself, I'm going to meet God. You do the same when you're going to have sex. So for me, casual sex is a no-no. There is no way I'll have sex with somebody that I'm not emotionally connected to. No way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know all about this man and all about what you
We're
learned.
no longer together though.
Oh, you're no longer together?
No, we are not.
Oh. What's his number? Okay. So, wow. Yeah. Now that's a lot. That's deep. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Do you feel the same? Are you a very monogamous person, or are you? Well, you're married now.
Yeah, I'm married.
But how do you feel about casual sex? Not in your marriage, of course.
Casual sex, not in my marriage. You want to try sometimes.
Are you very religious?
I am not religious, I'm spiritual.
You're spiritual?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about casual sex?
Casual sex.
Casual. Boy meet girl, explore. It's something that we hear about very often, that don't go and then not explore, not learn, learn about your body, learn about what you want, and then you go off, ship yourself off to go and marry somebody, and then the two of you are not compatible, and you don't know what you want, and he doesn't know what you want, and you are all there just angry at each other.
I think that we have to talk about it.
Okay.
It's something we need to talk about it. We cannot overemphasize the communication that comes with sex, because you see, when you look at the female anatomy, the reproductive, and you look at the male, their response to sex and that of the female are two opposite things. So for a man, sex will just happen at any time. But for a woman, it involves a lot. Before a woman will give herself to you, there should be that emotional connection, like Akosia said.
A lot of women don't mind having casual sex these days. I mean, they pick up men.
It depends. We are all not the same.
Yeah.
So like you're saying, there are two different people.
Yeah.
And each and every one of us have different experiences when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
So some, you can just see a 14-year-old girl and she can just go in. And you see a 40
That's
years.
criminal.
Yeah. So recently I was reading some things on Facebook and they were talking about the fact that they were raped by the guys. They were raped by their house helps when they were growing up. And they were seeing it as an adventure. This is defilement. But the guys didn't say it that way. But the women saw it in different light. So that tells you that we are all not the same when it comes to our responses to sex. So what somebody will jump at, you will not jump at it. Because for some of us, we have to critically think, how are we secured with this person? A lot goes into it. I'm going to give my body, and sex is not just, okay, let's just do this. For a woman, it involves a lot.
For you.
For me, as a woman,
Okay.
I will not just, because I feel my dignity is very important. I can't imagine having sex with you knowing that, he doesn't really care about you. You are just not, his kind of girl. And sometimes they will let you know that they are just having sex with you. But when somebody really adores you, you want to be a part of that person's life. And you feel being loved. And so it's so easy for you to give all out. You don't hold back. You are ready to let go. Let's do this. Because when you look at the whole act of sex, the kind of hormones that are being released, you know that you are with the right person.
Yeah.
You feel at peace. You are not going to think, okay, what's going to happen? What's the aftermath? Is he going to leave me and go for another person? But this one, you are so sure that this is the kind of person I want to enjoy and spend the rest of my life with. So you give all out.
Now, you said something that now it looks like people are having casual sex here and there. I think it's also because, there's social media.
Yeah.
There is internet. Women are now feeling this liberation that we didn't really have in our time. In our time, there was no internet. You wouldn't have the opportunity to go and read about what sex does for you. But now, look, information is, as they say, information will be say. So now people are reading and understanding the benefits of sex. Formerly, we were doing it as our duty. Our mothers were doing it not because they wanted to reach any mind-blowing orgasm. They didn't even know about orgasm. They didn't. But this generation, with the abundance of knowledge and internet,
and information,
knows that I won't just have sex if I'm not coming. The man, it shouldn't be only the man benefiting from this experience. We should, say benefiting. So that is the reason why now women are becoming a bit daring more than it used to be. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about sex and everything in between. You're watching We Got This Africa. When we come back, we'll talk about what we want and more. Stay tuned.
We got this.
When I open fried toast and flour, nature comes to life.
Great to have a hearty, healthy family. Frytol sunflower cooking oil. Also cholesterol free for tasty, healthy meals. Love your food, love your life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Kaiser Intelligence System is that magical experience in our lapel range. And it's got a TFT touch control system in this extractor, an induction hot plate with a tempered glass surface powered by the world premium Shot Siran. Shock resistant, and it comes with its grill plates. Every space of this induction hob can cook, and we call it the Friezo. Just touch to control the extractor fan speed. The power slide on the induction hob gives you the freedom to regulate its power to your desire. Magically powerful in extracting heat, smoke, and harmful odors without being a noisy nuisance in your cooking space. And because we care, the induction hob has a safety guard and child lock function. Now, look at that food. Kaiser knows how to bring the best in every cook. Kaiser, power in action.
We got this.
You're watching We Got This Africa. Today we're talking about sex. And now we're going to talk about why it's so important for us as girls or women or females or whatever you identify as. So tell me, you have shared some experiences, some rather unfortunate experiences that you have had with sex in your life. And I was so happy when you said that now, you know, you feel differently about it because of the second relationship you were in. Tell me how you made this U-turn.
Well, so I now started dating someone who didn't see sex as a chore or as a duty, but rather saw the need for me to have pleasure out of sex. So before, sex was pain because there was no foreplay. There was nothing.
Physical pain?
Yes, physical pain. As you are, my ex-husband was endowed.
He was, okay, got you.
Sorry.
Okay, got that.
Yes.
I don't know if you all got it, but I did.
So,
okay.
Coupled with everything that I was going through, and there was no foreplay. But here you meet someone who takes care of your body, explore. And every woman actually has very sensitive parts that, look, I don't really agree that you cannot have orgasm at every sexual encounter. Because I think that if people really take time to explore the women that they are having sex with, there is a part of your body that when your husband touches, well, your body begins to tense up. And if they are paying attention, they will know there's something there. They will keep exploring. That is how fortunate I was. I met someone who paid attention to my body, paid attention to changes in my body, where I moan pleasurably and where I moan painfully. So sex started becoming very, very pleasurable for me. Yeah.
Now that's not an average man, right?
Well, it isn't.
He was a therapist.
He was a therapist. He had read and learned and had a lot of sex. So yeah.
So the key is to have a lot of sex and to read and learn.
Yes. Have a lot of sex, yes.
Okay.
Explore.
Okay.
Pay attention, actually. Pay attention to the person that you are. Can I say penis? Mm-hmm. Pay attention to the person that you're putting your penis in their vagina. Okay. Pay attention to the body that is lying there, that naked body that is lying on your bed. Pay attention to it. Women speak a lot with our bodies, do we?
Okay. Now, a lot of women nowadays would tell you that you shouldn't expect a man to know what to do if you don't know what you want. Do you agree?
I agree.
How do you come to that knowledge?
I feel that is your body.
Okay.
And so as a woman, you want a man to explore your body when you don't even know yourself.
Okay.
So it's very important that you get to know yourself, what turns you on, what are the spots that gets you that orgasmic, pleasurable experience. You don't expect him to always be the one to give you orgasm.
How are you supposed to come to that knowledge?
You should know yourself.
How?
You can explore yourself.
About 10 years ago, or 9 or 8, I don't know, 7 years ago, I started in a stage play called the Vagina Monologues. Have you ever seen the Vagina Monologues?
No,
Have you seen it? No. Okay, so it's a stage play about the vagina and all the things that there are. And when I first got the script, I was like, what? I couldn't even say the title of the play. And then the director, Amma Prempe, she was like, nah, we should all stop being such hypocrites and say the word vagina because it's just a part of your body. It's just like your eyes and your arms. Why can't you say it? I was like, wait a minute, okay. So in my monologue, there's a line that says that a lot of women have not seen their vagina. They don't know what their vagina looks like. In fact, it's such a chore to see the thing. If you want to see it, you can't just look down and take a look, right? You need to grab a mirror. That has to face a light in a particular way. You have to be in a particular position. You have to angle it. And you have to steal a glance at it from the mirror. Like, it's a whole thing. So just to see the thing is a whole chore. So how do you now, explore and get to know what is great and what you don't like? Isn't it all so much, like, a lot?
I think we also forget that it is not just the vagina.
Okay.
There are other parts of the woman's body that also gives pleasure. For me personally, I always say my nipple is my go-to. I can come in seconds if you know what to do. There are people that have it in their neck. I had a classmate in Legon whose neck was so sensitive. The moment you even get close, you'll be like, hey, don't, man. That is where her sensitive part is. There are our scalp, our knuckles, our feet, our ears. But what I find is the problem is that I spoke to a number of men and I told them, look, why don't you allow women to guide you, especially if you don't have the time to explore? Why don't you allow the woman to guide you? Because it is her body. She knows where, it's my breast.
Does she know, really?
Yes. I think we know. You see, society has made this thing so weird, so it's like you cannot even say that it is your nipple. When you touch your nipple and you feel something, you feel it. Mm-hmm. If you touch your neck, your ear, and you feel something, if it's ticklish, how don't you feel that your ear is ticklish? Mm-hmm. Who has to come and tell you that your ear is ticklish? And women, we bath, we stand in the mirror, we look at ourselves. Okay, I'm saying a lot. My nipple has, it's like pointed differently. So one is very sensitive than the other. So if I'm having sex with you, I will try to guide your hand to where it is most sensitive.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to come and tell me that she didn't even reach orgasm. I am helping you, but people don't want to learn. They feel like, why should a woman teach me the things I should know already? She doesn't know her body, but we do. Don't forget, we keep saying that we have read. We are not like our mothers. We are a different breed. We know. The things that we know, no. They don't know, but we know. So they shouldn't say that we don't know our bodies. We do.
Okay.
A lot of women are becoming lesbians.
Yeah.
Because we know. Now we know.
What has lesbianism got to do with knowing?
I used to watch porn a lot. Like I had them in folders on my laptop.
Okay.
The only reason I stopped was my son chanced upon it and I was like, God, I'm dead. I've watched all categories of porn.
Okay.
All of it. Now, this is what I see with the women. They take their time to touch. It's not just about picking a dildo. I think most people think lesbians only use dildos and whatever. No. Sometimes they don't even use a dildo. It is just touching their nipple, touching the...
That sounds like a lot of time.
But if you don't have time for sex, what do you want to have time for?
Let me tell what my friend said. She said, look, A man who wants to have sex for more than 10 minutes, what, like you don't have anywhere to be
And
or
that
anywhere
has
to
been
go?
the problem. That
So-
has been the problem.
Do you feel the same?
I think men are just in a hurry to just get it done. And
No,
go.
this is a girl.
This is a girl.
Yeah, this is a girl. My friend is a girl.
Okay.
She's like more than 10 minutes. What are you doing? You don't have anything
She's
to do.
talking about the pounding.
She's
talking about the pounding there.
That's
Going in and out.
Not the whole activity.
Not the whole activity.
because going in and out, I mean, 10 minutes should be fine.
It's a long time.
Yes.
But when it comes to foreplay, a lot goes into foreplay. Like she said earlier on, during church service, you need to prep the whole body. So there should be a opening prayer.
Okay, run me
And-
through it. What's the preparation?
The preparation starts with the mind.
Okay.
It's all about the state of your mind. What language are you hearing? What is he speaking to you? What is the connection? What is the emotional, what is the intimacy, the friendship? It involves a lot. If you are not friends with him, you cannot openly talk about it, so you shy away from it.
Are you
But
sure
once-
about that?
Yeah. See, when we talk of casual relationship, casual sex, there are people who don't mind. They can just meet any man and they are done, they're okay. Because people who have sex, people are escorts, people are, prostitutes, and they are okay. They don't need to have any emotional connection with you. But when it comes to me, as we are talking here, I can't just have sex with anyone because we are not the same.
Yeah.
So I need that connection, I need that friendship, I need that vibe. We need to be able to talk about it. I need to tell you that if you do this, I like it. So do this for me.
Okay.
Okay, it's not just about, okay, he wanted and he has come, and so that's it. If I haven't come, you have work to do because we haven't finished the game. Yes. So you need to know about yourself, what you want. And, society has, made us like, okay, it's a man's world. It's the man who needs the sex. No. So women cannot ask for sex. I should be able to tell you that, hey, I want sex. And I should go for it. Because when you read the Bible talks about the fact that your body belongs to him if you are in the context of marriage. So you shouldn't deny each other. So that body belongs to me. And his body, and my body belongs to him. And so I need to be able to have that pleasure. The day we stop having sex, that is when the world will go into extinction. Because it is through sex that we get babies coming out. All of us are products of sex. And so we cannot...
That's an interesting quote. I should saw that on a pillow. Okay. So it's
a big deal.
It's a big deal in relationships.
A big deal.
Now, let's talk about the importance of it. How important is it? I mean, it's nice, it's great. Yeah, that's how we have our babies, that's how we connect. But how in the grand scheme of things, how important is it?
So, if you see a woman who is walking about smiling and laughing by heart, the night before she had good sex. Yes, that's one. It makes you smile, like you are there, you are laughing. People owe you, you don't even care. You are just laughing because something good happened to you the night before.
Is it scientific?
Look, try it. You try, when you're there, you are married, so you can legally try it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's not just, and I keep saying, it's not just sex. Now, the one that will give you mind-blowing orgasm, the one that will make your body shake, that one, that's what I'm talking about. So, I'm dating somebody now. Okay. He's guy, he's nice, very nice.
Hey, Ganku. Hey, Ganku.
Recently, we're just chatting.
Okay.
And we don't get to see each other much because he's a very busy person. We're just talking, and it turned to a bit naughty. Look, without even touching me, I was wet. And when we met, oh God, my home and dad doesn't watch. And when we met, look, it was so good. I kept smiling. I was happy, and I have kids. When I got home, my son was behaving. I was like, oh well.
Forget you.
That is it.
Well, you know endorphins, like happy hormones.
Yeah.
It's something that your body
Yeah.
produces when you have sex.
Yeah.
So so I agree with you. You know, it gives you happy hormones. It just makes you happy.
And you begin
I wonder
to
if it makes you
bond.
happy if it's even bad sex.
If it's bad sex, it makes you frown.
Can we talk about bad sex?
Yeah, it makes you frown.
It makes you frown?
Makes you
Bad
frown.
sex is like, okay, so I've had sex with you, you've come and you're sleeping. I mean, who does that? And you know, it's not just the hormone that is being released, it's not just the endorphins, it releases the oxytocin hormone.
Yeah.
That is for bonding. Then the sleep hormone. That is why after sex, the man can sleep. But when a woman who is satisfied will equally sleep. And so we need to understand that what it does to the man is the same as what it does to the woman. And so let's do it
So
right.
if after sex you want to go and cook and, I don't know, clean the house and, you know those jokes that we hear about, you know, if you live in a compound house and you see a woman sweeping and singing on the compound, it means she just had great sex. It's not true.
No.
She probably want
But
to
it depends.
No.
It depends also. It
Okay.
depends also. Like I said, you can be so happy that now you want to actually do all the chores in the world. So it depends. It depends
gives you
on
energy.
That is it.
How do you know when you're having bad sex?
So for example, you've prepped your mind. You want to kiss and cuddle and caress and be touched. And he comes and says, Charlie, my bro, let me just do this quickly and sleep. And he does it and sleep, and you are sitting there like, what? That is bad sex. The one that you don't get anything from. Because by the time you start heating up, he's done. Hey, how is that even possible? That one is not good.
Because some people don't know when they have bad sex, you know. Like you said, for some people, they just believe that it's a thing they have to do. Like some kind of a responsibility or a chore. One of the things on your daily calendar that you have to, you know, just get through and get out of.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And I don't need to tell you this, but some women believe that it's not possible for them to have an orgasm when they have sex. So they're not looking forward to it. It's just like...
We have been conditioned.
Is it not scientific? Can everybody have an orgasm?
So I was reading an article and it was giving the statistics of orgasm. And a lot of women, I don't want to misquote there, but a lot of women in their lifetime have never experienced an orgasm. They've never experienced an orgasm.
And they probably never would.
And they probably never will. And so the story was told about one lady who was raped. And during the rape, she was just moaning and with pleasure. The husband was there. It was an armed robbery, you know, gang. And so this lady was just moaning. And so the husband was just looking at, this is rape. So she didn't even understand that this is what orgasm is about, you know. And you realize that she's missing a lot. And the man thought maybe he was doing something. But because women are not able to talk to their men, they can't have a heart-to-heart talk. They can't tell them what they want. So we've been told, he's your husband, give it to him anytime he comes. And so we just go ahead without enjoying the whole act of sex. It's not always that sex will be pleasurable, because there are dutiful sex as well.
What is that?
It is your duty, because the Bible says it.
Oh, please.
So
Can I have some water?
at that point, it's not, we are
I do
humans.
not agree.
We are not
Do you
always,
agree?
We are not always in good mood. No, we are not.
Why would you have sex if you don't want to have sex? Because your duty to have sex?
Because you have to.
If you don't, your husband will go
Your
outside and go and
husband,
have
this
sex
is the
with
context in which we are. We cannot shy away from it. We have our bad days.
I was nodding until now.
We have
Now,
our bad
I'm
days.
not nodding anymore.
That's why a lot of women are not really having the orgasm they should be having, because they don't see it as pleasure.
So you're saying that even if you don't want to do it, you should do it because the other person wants to do it.
Exactly.
You should.
You should.
Or you should consider doing it.
You should consider doing it.
Consider doing it. So maybe not.
And so it's not like, you don't have to be selfish. When it comes to marriage, we are not always, women have their hormones and their hormonal changes.
So don't do it.
But the man wants it. So you want to tell me that you see your husband, penis erect, seeing this beautiful lady sitting by, lying by
So what
him.
do you do? I mean, you don't want to do it, and your body must want it. So if your body doesn't want it,
so you need to give it to him.
So how do you? So isn't that sounds?
It's
like
about the mind.
That sounds like abuse to me.
It's not abuse. It depends on
How
what.
do you-
This is somebody you love.
How do you do it?
It's
when you don't want to do it.
I condition my mind.
So if he doesn't want to do it and you want to do it,
I tell him that, then I will have to.
You have to
come and sit on it and write.
Yeah, that's why you have to serve yourself.
Serve yourself.
Yeah. You can decide to serve yourself, and that's it.
Serve yourself.
Marriage, it's not marriage. A lot of, you see, we have to be practical when it comes.
How do you feel about having more than one partner? I mean, this is important because, like you said, your partner doesn't always want to do it. And increasingly, we're hearing more and more about open relationships where the couple agree that we can have other partners. How do you feel about that?
So I am inherently monogamous.
Okay.
But my second partner I told you about, he's polyamorous.
So he doesn't
he's not
mind
even
having
polygamous, he's
partners.
polyamorous.
So
he has multiple partners who know, everybody knows that we are all in this thing together. I thought I could, but there's something about my mind that's really, I mean, when you think about it, when he wants sex and you can't give him the sex, the right thing to do is maybe for him to do it with somebody else.
In the group.
Because he's a man, he probably would do it anyway. But if you know that, okay, he's with Asumesi or Benti, well, okay. I can't. I have tried.
Were you doing it together, like?
So that's the thing.
Group sex.
So that's the thing. I am never able to tell another man that I will sleep with you if I am not emotionally connected. That was my difficulty. So he didn't
just have other women; he had other men too.
No, women.
Okay.
He had other women who could also have other men. That thing, it keeps going like
it's like a tree.
Yes, but I couldn't. If I'm in a relationship with you, I am with you. That is the thing. I just couldn't. We tried for 5 years. I was not able to sleep with any other person in that 5 years. He wouldn't have mind. It is a lifestyle, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. But a lot of people are embracing it though.
Yeah.
It looks like it is becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Polyamory especially is becoming a thing. That is not my thing. It's not my thing.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't think I will be able to, knowing that my partner has multiple sexual partners to share him with. That I can't. Because I believe that we all deserve better. We deserve. I don't want us to get to the point where we normalize things. Okay, so men are seen as this. But on the flip side, there are equally good men out there who will frown upon this kind of amorous relationship.
There isn't an equal number of men to women. So the ratio of men
and
to
there are
women
men who are asexual.
Yeah.
So
we should all figure it out somehow.
Exactly.
But do you is it something that yes you can't do it, but do you detest it? Do you think that we shouldn't do that, or if that's the kind of thing you like, you should just go ahead and do it?
Well, so for this person that I was with, who is polyamorous, he told me, look, I love you. And I knew that he loved me, but there was no way he could be with one woman. I don't hate him. I just don't want to put myself in the situation because I can't. Yeah. I don't know if I detest it.
Very insightful conversations here on sex and everything in between. When we come back, we'll take our final words. I hope that you've learned something from today's episode.
When I open fried toast and flour, nature comes to life. When I cook with fried toast and flour, family comes to life. Nature gives to you in every drop, your goodness in every bite. Nature gives to you in every drop, your goodness in every bite.
Just give to you in every draw.
Feels great to have a hearty, healthy family. Frytol sunflower cooking oil. Also cholesterol free for tasty, healthy meals. Love your food, love your life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
We got this.
On We Got This Africa, we say the things that ought to be said, the way they ought to be said, no holds barred. Today, we're talking about sex. We've had a great conversation so far. Before we go, ladies, what will be your final words on the importance of sex in our lives as women? Start with you, Maggie.
So, sex is very important. It's part of the physiological needs, as Abraham Maslow put it. So it's important that we give all out in a love relationship. We don't need to hold back when you know that your partner wants sex and you also want sex. It's something that must be mutually, enjoyed. It's not one person, benefiting at the expense of the other. And we should just dispel this notion that sex is for men. No. Women equally want sex and need sex for survival.
For survival, you agree?
Oh yes, and I will say, and I will keep saying, it is not just sex. Good sex. Sex that will give you mind-blowing orgasms. That is what you should be doing. Not just sex, because sex is sweet. Especially when you do it with somebody that your soul loves.
And then you can say about the baby. Thank you so much for watching We Got This Africa. Today, the episode on sex. My name is Ashorkor. We'll be back next week with more conversations, real talk from real women. Thank you.
Life is full of faces. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. While we run this race, although it's far.
So I was just thinking about the new Frytol slogan on goodness, and it kind of fits very well into what we're talking about.
Well, I agree too, because look, just like Frytol says, women, we deserve a world of goodness.
We do.
In sex, we deserve not just sex, we deserve good sex. The one that gives you mind-blowing orgasms.
And what happens when you can't have it?
Please, we have to have it. As we are eating and cooking our food with Frytol, we need to have goodness in our lives.
Yes.
Good sex is goodness.
High five to that.
We got this. While we run this races, although it's far, make it no give up. It only makes us stronger. Whatever you do, do them well. Make it no worry. We go take what you in me. Ban your face, in me. Walk on down. Can you feel? Oh, ban your face. Can you feel? Oh, ban your face. Can you feel? Oh, ban your face. Can you feel? Oh, ban your face.
We Got This Africa is an April Communications production with support from Kaiser. Proudly brought to you by Fritol. Fritol, you deserve a life of goodness.